What's up, guys? My name is Max. I did over 13 years in the Navy, and I have quite an interest in the UFO, UAP stuff that's been going on ever since David Fravor came out from the Nimitz saying that they spotted the Tic Tac UFO while training off the coast of California. I've even seen my own UAP, UFO, whatever you want to call it, and I'll put a link to that video right up here. You guys can go check it out and let me know what you think about my own personal experience. And today I'm rocking my Space Force shirt, which you guys can pick up at scuttlebuttshow.com, and you can rep for the Space Force and the aliens out there too. So today was a congressional hearing about the UAP program, ATIP in Congress, where Mr. Moultrie and Mr. Bray from Pentagon answered questions about the UAP, the unmanned aerial phenomenon reports that have come out detailing over 400 reports or encounters with unknown objects in the sky, many of them from the military. I'm going to play you a video and react to what I think were the key takeaways from today's congressional hearing, which for the most part was It didn't have too much of the politics thrown into it, which I kind of like, and I'm going to leave all that stuff out of it too. So if you see a politician in here that you like or don't like, for today, we're going to leave all that off the table. Before we jump into it, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button if you're interested at all with what's going on with the military in general. That's what this channel is all about, and I hope you stick around for more videos. All right, let's get into it. All right, so the first thing that they do here is they have some opening statements where they establish what the point of this entire congressional hearing is. And I want you guys to hear that so you know what the point of this entire thing was.
More than 50 years ago, the U.S. government ended Project Blue Book, an effort to catalog and understand sightings of objects in the air that could not otherwise be explained. For more than 20 years, that project had treated unidentified anomalies in our airspace as a national security threat to be monitored and investigated. In 2017, we learned for the first time that the Department of Defense had quietly restarted a similar organization tracking what we now call unidentified aerial phenomena, or UAPs. Last year, Congress rewrote the charter for that organization, now called the Airborne Object Identification and Management Synchronization Group, or AIM-SOG for short. Today, we will bring that organization out of the shadows. This hearing and oversight work has a simple idea at its core. Unidentified aerial phenomena are a potential national security threat, and they need to be treated that way.
So they did say that AIM-SOG is a name that's probably going to change. It does sound cool when they say bring it out of the shadows, but when they change the name, that's one way to keep us internet sleuths off the case, is to constantly change the name of the program. This next topic that we're going to address here is how many of these sightings have been made by military aircraft, military ships, and it makes you wonder what the purpose of that is. Who would have a vested interest in spying on our military? Just put that in the back of your minds.
We know that our service members have encountered unidentified aerial phenomena. And because UAPs pose potential flight safety and general security risks, we are committed to a focused effort to determine their origin.
It is weird that most of these sightings that we're going to be talking about or that are getting addressed are made by military. It does beg the question, are these aircraft, are these UAPs adversarial, or are they even partner force, or are they some kind of DARPA program that just nobody knows because it's too top secret, and they kind of hover around American warships and American military bases? Like if you already went and watched my UAP encounter video, you would see ours was when we were doing training on a military base. But if you haven't seen that already, as soon as this video is over, go check it out. It's linked in the description. But whatever you guys think, I'd love to hear in the comments. This next one, they're going to show us one of the examples of footage that they have from one of the encounters that they cannot explain. So let's take a look at this and see what we think.
For example, let me share with you the first video that we have here today, which shows an observation in real time. There it was. That's, in many cases, that's all that a report may include. And in many other cases, we have far less than this.
All right, so like I said, here's that still frame capture is what they're trying to show you. It's basically on the screen for about 3 frames, which you would, blink and you missed it. It flies across the screen. You can go back and rewatch it. Maybe now that you've seen this, you'll catch it when it flies by. But this is in there, and this is one of the things that they say they don't know what it is. They don't know what it was doing up there, but it was there. People did observe it, and they're not sure what the answer is. And this is the one that I believe I saw. This is actually the one that I think was following us at the base that I was training at in California. And you guys can go watch my video again, like I said, and you can see what I was talking about. But I don't know. What do you guys think? What does this look like to you? But what we're about to see here is Representative Adam Schiff, who actually I think a lot of people hate him, and probably for good reason. But he had some really good lines of questioning at this event here. And one of the best parts of this whole thing, and I kind of mean that, tongue in cheek, because it is a little embarrassing too, is watching these guys try to freeze frame that. And I'm just going to show you that here. Remember, these guys are in charge of our national defense from potential aliens.
Mr. Bray, can you rerun that first image? It looked like it was outside of a plane. And if you wouldn't mind going up to the screen and tell us what we're seeing. And are we looking outside of a civilian aircraft window? Is that what we're looking at?
U.S. Navy F-18.
Is that it right there? Can you point to the screen again what we're supposed to be looking at? Okay, if you could stop that frame. No, it's not.
The laptop we're working with is not as easy for stopping that video in the right spot.
So that's a little bit embarrassing, but hey, we'll give them, it's not their normal laptop. Hey, you got to give them some credit. All right, guys, this next one, you might have seen it. It's the triangle UAP. This is what was observed through a pair of night vision goggles and then recorded onto a electronic camera or DSLR. And this one, they claim that they can explain as a swarm of drones operating in the sky, and then when viewed through night vision goggles and then through a digital camera, created this triangle shape. And they said they had been able to recreate this in laboratory type settings. So you tell me, do you buy that?
We've also made progress in resolving the character of a limited number of UAP encounters. For example, let me show you a couple of another video and image taken years apart in different areas. In this video, U.S. Navy personnel recorded what appears to be triangles, some flashing, recorded several years ago, off the coast of the United States. This was recorded while the U.S. Navy ship observed a number of small unmanned aerial systems in the area. And importantly, the video was taken through night vision goggles with a single lens reflex camera. These remained unresolved for several years. Other U.S. Navy assets also observed unmanned aerial systems nearby, and we're now reasonably confident that these triangles correlate to unmanned aerial systems in the area.
Okay, I could buy that. That could be an explanation for that one. It is interesting because there are some secret aircraft out there that have been spotted. People have taken photos of them. They're even acknowledged by the government that are triangle shaped. So these could be, U.S. aircraft, spy planes, something like that have been photographed through night vision goggles, which you would definitely see light differently when it's miles away through a pair of night vision goggles than you would if you could get a high resolution up close image of it. It messes with your depth, it messes with your focus, all that. Okay, I could buy that one.
For the majority of incidents that we had in the last year's report, the majority had multi-sensor data.
So multi-sensor data, what they mean is a person witnessed it, the aircraft sensor or camera witnessed it, as well as radar systems witnessed it. And they said that in a closed door session that was supposed to immediately follow this, they would go more into what these multi-sensor systems are that were capturing it. But they did confirm, in other words, these are real physical objects flying through flying through airspace that you could reach out and touch, but we just don't know what they are. One of the most interesting things from this entire thing was when they talked about how these aircraft move without any discernible means of propulsion, which is a quote from here that we're about to see. And then the question was raised, do we have any of these? Have we ever shot them down? Do we have any wreckage? Have they ever crashed? Have we ever observed them landing? And their answers are interesting.
Reportedly appear to exhibit unusual flight characteristics, appear to demonstrate advanced technology, and some of them appeared to remain stationary in winds aloft, move against the wind, maneuver abruptly, or move at considerable speed without discernible means of propulsion. That's pretty intriguing. Are we aware of any foreign adversary capable of moving objects without any discernible means of propulsion?
I think I would, without discernible means of propulsion, I would say that we're not aware of any adversary that can move an object without discernible means of propulsion. The question then becomes, in many of these cases where we don't have a discernible mean of propulsion in the data that we have, in some cases there is likely sensor artifacts that may be hiding some of that. There's certainly some degree of something that looks like signature management that we have seen from some of these UAP, but I would caution. I would simply say that there are a number of events in which we do not have an explanation. And there are a small handful in which there are flight characteristics or signature management that we can't explain with the data that we have.
To me, that's the jackpot moment in this entire hearing. The discernible means of propulsion. So you don't see any exhaust, you don't see any heat coming off the thing, you don't see any props or propellers. It's just moving at very high rates of speed, very acrobatically, but they're not sure how it's going. That is quite interesting. And that's what they're acknowledging here. That's what Adam Schiff was asking. I think that out of everything that we talk about in this entire video and in this entire hearing, because I've chopped out most of it because I didn't think it was very interesting or it didn't have any big revelations, that acknowledgement, and though this is not the first time we've heard it, is the one that really gets my brain going. Like, what could this be? One thing that he said was observing possible signature management. So what you have there is you could have the paint on the aircraft, the design of the exhaust, the way that it emits RF energy. All these things could be mitigated so it appears propulsionless. It appears not to emit any RF energy. It appears to not be detectable by radar, but that could all be advanced deceptive techniques that are built into these aircraft. Is that what it is? Is some country, some group so advanced that our radars, which are so sophisticated, you wouldn't believe it. They're so good at tracking and picking up on things, you wouldn't believe it. If they are getting defeated so frequently and easily by these aircraft, well, that's quite alarming.
Sure. When I say we can't explain, I mean exactly as you described there, that there is a lot of information, like the video that we showed, in which there's simply too little data to create a reasonable explanation. There are a small handful of cases in which we have more data that our analysis simply hasn't been able to fully pull together a picture of what happened. And those are the cases where we talk about where we see some indications of flight characteristics or signature management that are not what we had expected. When it comes to material that we have no material. We have detected no emanations within the UAP task force that would suggest it's anything non-terrestrial in origin.
What he's saying there, the question that you didn't hear that he's answering, is effectively, I can summarize like this. They don't think it's aliens. What they're saying is it's not aliens. It appears to be of this Earth, not of another planet or another dimension or anything like that. We'll see. We'll see about that.
How about wreckage? Have we come across any wreckage of any kind of object that has now been examined by you?
The UAP task force doesn't have any wreckage that isn't explainable, that isn't consistent with being of terrestrial origin.
Well, it's hard for me to believe that this many aircraft of this high technological level, including they cited 11 near misses, air-to-air collisions with military aircraft, and none of those have ever crashed or been, there have been no mid-air collisions or there have been no higher resolution videos or photos taken of them. The whole thing is a little bit suspicious and fishy, if you ask me. So that leads me to the finale here of what do you guys think? What do you think about UFOs, UAPs, aliens, adversaries, a whole bunch of nothing burgers? Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. I'm really curious to hear it. And like I said, you can pick up this Space Force shirt at Scuttlebutt Show or scuttlebuttclothing.com, linked in the description down below. I appreciate you guys watching this video, and I would love to hear about your UAP experience in the comments as well. I look forward to talking to you guys very soon. For now, that's the Scuttlebutt. What's up, guys? Thanks for watching that video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, go ahead and hit that subscribe button up in the corner here and check out this next video. If you want, in the description down below, there's links where you can get Scuttlebutt Show merch and find out how you can support the channel. I really appreciate it, and I look forward to talking to you guys very soon.